Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. This is Kuming, and who's with me here?
It's me, Andrew.
Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Andrew. Okay, wait, hang on, everyone. Let's like and share this with somebody that we know that likes gemstones and gemstones. Lunch talk. Let's like and share this with somebody that we know that likes gemstones and lunch talk. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, hi everyone.
Welcome,
Good,
welcome.
welcome. Hi, Zihao, Dan Zihao. Whoa, hi, where are you at now? Right now, Zihao. Have you have your lunch? Yeah, just type into the comments, and we would like to connect with you. That's the whole point of this whole lunchtime gem talk, to connect with all our viewers, our community, and find out how's things going, and also to also talk a little bit about gemstones. Yeah. So, Andrew, have you had your lunch?
Not yet.
Oh, same here, same here. We talk about gems first, huh? Oh,
Hmm.
hi. Oh, you're in the office, Okay. So, are you having your lunch? Yeah, hopefully, this gem talk can help you in your work, because it makes you more enthusiastic. So, you can tell your boss that, yeah, this is a part of the work. Okay, okay, never mind. Yeah, so today, Andrew, what are we going to talk about? Oh, why is it on Spinel? Yeah, yeah, one of the talk lah. Ta-da.
Okay, so today's talk, we're going to talk about our previous webinars, which is the Twinkle star gemstones, ornamental gemstones like Lapis Lazuli, Turquoise, Malachite, and many more, pearls, and the Spinels.
First and Spinel. So actually, as many topics here. So if you do have a friend that is interested in these stones, do feel free to like and share this video with them. I believe it will be very interesting and exciting for them. I wouldn't say exciting, but interesting. Yeah, you will tickle them and having a lunch and actually looking at stones. So let's wait for a few more people to come on, and we will start with the whole talk. Yeah. So, Andrew, what actually got you interested in gemstones?
What got me interested in gemstones? I always like nature, okay, but I never, nature in the sense like sceneries, animals, living things. But until I found out about gemology, gemstones, minerals, it happens really quickly lah. Like I never thought of that aspect of nature before, you know. So whenever, just like anybody who just discovered a new interest or a new subject that might be interesting, you just get so attracted to it.
Wow.
So that's when, I just carry on with this hobby, this interest, this passion.
What was the thing that caused you to get so attracted to gemstones?
It's the beauty, first of all, the beauty, and then the beauty also triggers curiosity. That is also one of the important things when you explore new things, you know. When you see the beauty of gemstones, you will always think like, wow, why? How? All the 5W and the 1H, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
You think of the 5W and 1H when
Mm,
uh, when actually you look at gemstones.
mm. Always ask yourself, like ask yourself
It's very
how.
inquisitive. Oh,
Mm,
okay. Interesting. I,
mm,
I never knew that. When I see gemstones, the first thing that hits me is, wow, what is this color? Yeah, sure.
mm.
What 5W? What is this color? How do I feel this color? This stone, hey, looks beautiful. How much is it? How much is the price? Then I kind of, from there, I kind of formulate, it's because I'm doing business, ma. So how is it worth it? So anyway, let's dive into the topic today, lunchtime jam talk. So the purpose of this talk is actually, yeah, this is both of us coming together. So my name is Tae Kuming, and I'm the founder of the Gem Museum. And Andrew, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, and I'm Andrew. I'm the curator of the Gem Museum.
Okay, so our objective here is really to connect with our past and also our new audience, to recap past webinars and also to answer any questions that arose from past webinars. And also it's interesting because we share also the image about the questions of our visitors at the Gem Museum. So this is another part that is interesting. So the questions that you have here are actually not questions we came up with, but actually these questions that were asked by our visitors.
Mm.
So the topics of today is the red dot spinel, twinkle of star gems, ornamental gemstones, lapis, malachite, turquoise, and pearl, natural and cultured. So we will want this talk to be a very free and easy, a talk that that really uh, just enjoy looking at stones and enjoy talking about them. And do feel free to connect with us and also connect with us and ask us
Mm.
questions about gemstones. Yeah. So the first one, red dot, the little red dot spinel, a beautiful yet little known gemstone. Wow, why you have that smile, Andrew?
Now, when I see this red dot, I always think of who came up with this term, the little red dot, to describe spinel.
Oh, who is it?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me.
Oh, I think it was Hui Ying. I think so. I
Oh,
think it was Hui Ying. Because we wanted to do like a National Day promo that time. So there was one time I think Singapore was described as the little red dot. Yeah. Then Hui Ying was like, hey, let's actually put the spinel in marble in the Gem Museum shop for sale and
mm,
let people know about it. Call it the little red dot.
let's
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
It's quite fitting as well. Quite
Yeah,
fitting.
it's actually quite fitting, quite very nice. Yeah, Hui Ying is commenting now. Cause the little red dot. Yeah, me.
Mm. Yeah, and
Yeah,
spinel is one of the is a beautiful stone. Yes, it comes in many different colors, and it's also not known to most of the publics actually.
yeah. It's
Hmm.
actually a lesser known stone. Only the last maybe 5 to 10 years that it started becoming popular because of the rising ruby prices. And both spinel and ruby, they can come from Myanmar. And the red spinel. Recently, I saw a 20 carat red spinel. Somebody sent it to me. Emerald cut.
Wow.
Very very beautiful. I think they were asking about 90 over thousand US dollars, which is
Wow.
I think not so expensive lah for a 20 carat stone. Yeah, it has a GIA cert and it says no heat and natural. It's a deep red to red color, very clean stone. So
Wow.
it's a very interesting stone. So let's continue with our talk. Red dot. How to differentiate spinel and ruby?
Okay, so this question actually been asked many times. Whenever, so spinel is one of the stones that not known to people, like I mentioned. So whenever visitors first saw spinels, okay, in our specimens, they always, the first thing that come to their mind is that this, how to differentiate spinel and ruby. Okay, so
Mm,
there are many ways, I would say. If you're thinking about just by the looks of it, you have to determine with their crystal shapes. Okay, crystal shapes is one of the most distinct features that both of them then can have. So
yes.
spinels, they would form in the cubic crystal system, which they would
Mm-hmm.
have this crystal habit of the octahedral. It's one of the most common habits for spinels. So maybe, Komi, you can actually can try to point to the um, spinel crystal.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, this one, the octahedral. It's like a
Yes.
back-to-back pyramids that just becomes a very symmetrical crystal, whereas the ruby crystal is an elongated crystal, like the one on the left.
This one.
Yes. So ruby, they form in the trigonal crystal system, which is quite distinct compared to the cubic crystal system. So that itself, you can determine which one is spinel, which one is ruby. But what if both of them, they are cut gemstones? That would be a
Yeah.
little bit more tricky. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, have you ever tried determining which one is ruby, which one is spinel through just by the naked eye before? The
Yes.
physical stone.
Yes. They look different somehow. Because after a while you look at the stone, you can tell certain differences. The colors that come out from spinel tend to be more singular. You don't see like purplish. You don't see that when the reflection comes out to you. You don't see that it's have a different mix of color. It tend to be more
Mm.
like red, like brownish red or just red. Then at a certain angle, if you look at it, it's different. I don't know how to describe to you, Andrew.
Okay. It's if you try to identify with the naked eye, it can be quite subjective because ruby and spinel from different countries, they can overlap in quality, even the color, the clarity. Like if you compare, uh, most of the spinels, they are quite dark red. Okay, but if you
Yeah.
compare it to Mozambique ruby, which is dark red also, like
Mm.
so it's very subjective. So the best way to differentiate them is of course is by the refractometer, which is one of the gemological instruments that we use to identify gemstones.
Yeah. So Eric has a comment and a question. My friend taught me this. He says, and show me. If I put a yellow light below a ruby, it will turn pink, but not other red gemstones, e.g., spinel and garnet, will not turn pinkish. Off you shine a yellow light on them. Is this true?
Hmm.
Andrew, what do you think?
I
And
actually never.
sorry, hang on a while.
Okay.
Thanks, Eric, for the comment. And what do you think, our listeners and our viewers? Do put in the chat below, and let's discuss a little bit about differentiating rubies and spinels. Andrew.
Hmm. Well, I never tried this before actually. Wait, yellow light it will turn pink. Eh, I did maybe I've tried it before, but I didn't actually notice the ruby turns pink or other stones that does not turn pink. Uh, yeah, I never did that experiment before. Maybe we should try it
Yeah, we're not.
later.
We actually now have a series. So we are going to boil. Uh, we're going to set diamonds on fire, and then we are going to set lights onto rubies and spinels.
But I don't think it would turn entirely pink, even though you shine an incandescent light on the ruby. I don't think I mean, it will be a completely dramatic color change, if so.
Yeah, so I think maybe we can talk a little bit about the different properties. So spinel is actually a single reflective stone. What that means? So when the light is scattering all over, but once goes through the spinel, it actually goes into one ray of light, and it comes out. Whereas rubies, they are DR stones. That means they have two direction of light. So when the light not two, it splits light into two directions.
Mm,
So when the light scatters around and it goes through the ruby, it will come out in two different rays. Yeah, and therefore, sometimes if you put it under the dichroscope is a instrument that you can measure. You can see the different pure colorism. So you tend to see orangey red. You can see purplish red. You can see pinkish red. So
mm,
these are the whole background with this. So yeah, you can actually try different methods, but when you put it side by side, one of the best method is to use a microscope, because that's measurable and tangible. When you put a microscope and you look at it, you can see if it's a ruby, you will see two colors on the microscope. So maybe we can actually show this on the yeah. Anyway, this is how you
Mm.
see. So you see the one that is ruby, we have an orangey red and a pink purplish red, or the pinkish red and purplish red. Whereas if you put it onto when you put it on a spinel, you don't see two different colors. Yeah. So
Mm.
that's a good way to actually look at the differentiation.
Mm. So actually, Hui is clarifying Eric's question. Yeah. So about leucoism and how the ruby is being cut in a specific direction. Yeah. But that would be a good experiment to do, you know, try and test
Yeah.
it out by
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's true. So there's a lot of quick and fast methods, but what happened is that, as part of the museum, when we purchase new specimens for the collection, uh, we have to go through a process, because I think one thing is hard. We need to go through a proven process. Yeah, especially when you are buying something like a few $1,000s. Like for example, the 90,000 US dollar red spinel 20 carat is 100 and something thousand Sing dollars.
Mm.
So people do go through this and actually make sure it's actually a spinel, and after they
Mm.
make sure it's natural, it's not treated. They make sure that the certificate is genuine, that is not a forged certificate. We
Mm.
check with the lab. There's many actually checks to this to
Yeah.
go through.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. So next
So
slide.
next slide. Oh, this slide is spinel a good gemstone, Andrew? What
Okay.
do you mean?
So good
You mean
gemstone. Yeah.
you mean that this question asked by our visitor?
Yeah. Exactly. So
Oh,
whenever,
okay.
because spinel, it looks red, it looks like ruby, and whenever I say, okay, it can be actually a good substitute for ruby if you have a low budget in terms of pricing. So they will always ask, okay, is this a good gemstone to substitute ruby? Eh, depends how you see it. Actually, the beauty of spinels can be quite amazing, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
for as a singly refractive stone, it would look more lively compared to ruby. Okay. Um, I mean, depends on what you want. If you want a vivid coloration like the pigeon's blood ruby, of course you go for the ruby. But if you want other things, uh, maybe lower price, good hardness, a good light reflection, Spinel would be a good choice other than ruby. You know, so good can be defined in many ways.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, it's this actually maybe also the phrasing, a good substitute to a gem. Well, I guess we all like different colors, and if a person
Mm.
likes red color, some gemstones could be spinel, ruby, red beryl, garnet,
Mm.
rubellite. What else? Is there any other red gemstones that you can think of? Coral.
Mm.
Actually, that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Red taphite. I seen one. It looks like spinel. And taphite is one of those gems that tend to get confused with spinel because they have the same
Mm-hmm.
RI.
Mm-hmm.
Red gems. Any other red gems you can think of? Red quartz.
Topaz.
Red top. Oh yeah, red. It's like pinkish lah, more pinkish color.
Mm.
So actually, to have a red gem is rare.
Mm. And yeah, actually, spinels on top of all of the gems that we mentioned, some of them they are pretty rare, like red beryls, red taphite, red topaz. But spinels they are not that. Uh, I mean, they are quite widely available. Okay, in good color, good size.
as com as compared to red graphite and red
Yeah,
beryl lah. No?
and even
Because
sometimes
like
ruby as well.
yeah,
So spinels, they are quite hard, quite tough. They, is there a red papyrusha? Well, there's a question. There's a red papyrusha.
well, the definition for papraja is you can watch our anyway zooming in gems, but quickly is a lotus flower when you look in the sunset. So it's an orange pink color or pink orange kind of color. So if you say there's red papraja, it will be a misnomer because papraja word is describing orange red. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah, thanks,
not
Lau, for
orange
the
red. Sorry,
question.
orange pink.
Orange pink. Yeah, thanks, Lau, for the question. But basically, red papyrusha will be a ruby, right? So it's a red corundum, in fact.
So like orangey red. There's actually a color orangey red ruby.
Mm-mm.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen a pink or a red orange. I always see orangey red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so what about you? What do you think Spinel is a good gemstone?
Spinel as a good gemstone. Well, in terms of value for money, yeah, of course, because it has not reached that kind of demand. It has not reached that kind of education. Not many people know about Spinel. Uh, most people just know ruby, sapphire, emerald, jade, diamond. That's about it. So
Mm.
there's a and value really depends on the supply and demand. So there are many colors also for spinel, and some colors are not yet very widely known. Like you can see, this color is uh, like a pinkish color, pinkish
Almost
orange
lavender.
color, almost lavender. On my screen, it looks like orange pink, like
Wow.
very close to a paparaja color, but it's not lah. So yeah, it's pretty hard. The stone, you can see it from the slide, right? The hardness of spinel is 8. So 8 is much harder than stainless steel. Stainless steel is 6.5. And on top of that, spinel also has a very high reflective index, which is 1.71. As
Mm.
when you compare it to quartz, quartz is only 1.54. Amethyst, quartz, and then so it's pretty high. So I would say spinel is a good gemstone to collect, and yeah, very 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 beautiful. Eric has a comment here. Spinel are nice and reasonably priced. Just that I am a man. I choose blue stones. Ha ha ha. Thus never had any red gemstones. Oh, okay, Eric, you can actually visit us and have a look at our spinel collection. We have a lot of red spinels in our collection.
Oh, we have blue
So
spinels also. Yeah.
yes, we have the rough cobalt blue spinel from
Mm.
from Vietnam in our exhibit.
We have dark blue spinels. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So it's and spinel actually gives you a lot of reason to collect it because of the color. You know,
Mm.
lavender color. You have blue. You have green. Wow, I tell you, have you seen a green spinel before?
No, no, I never seen. I never heard of green spinels.
Yeah, it's actually pretty rare. I think I have a few pieces in my collection. It's like a it's a dark green, but it's a deep green.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
and one of the problems faced by spinels is a lot of time they're not cut very well. When they are not cut so well, they tend to be very dark and don't have so much life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually a great opportunity for those of you who like gem cutting. Go and buy those spinels that are terribly cut, then recut them. They'll be very wow sparkling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
So spinel is a good gemstone to collect, and it has many. It gives you many reasons to collect it because of its big color range. Uh, there's also colorless spinel, which is
Mm.
rare. I have maybe 2 pieces in my collection, but it's a very light gray, very very light gray. And then
Mm.
I have heard before color change spinel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's also color change spinel. There's also star spinel, and the star is not 6 ray, it's 2 ray. Wow, Eileen Lee, I have a tricolor spinel, grayish, blue, violet. Is it rare?
Wow.
Wow, this I haven't seen before, Eileen. Yeah, please send us a picture.
Yeah, none of us have seen it before. It should be rare.
Yeah, wow. Tricolor spinel, grayish, blue, violet. Yeah. What's the price of a 1 carat spinel? Well, there's many price points for 1 carat. You can a couple $100 or even we have some carvings here. We are selling for like $50, $60, $80. They are
Mm.
carved, then it's a big range lah. You can go and find on online. When it comes to gem pricing, yes, you always get very stumped because some places sell $50, another person sell $10,000, another person say $1,000. Yeah, because it really depends on the nature of the stone, and when you look at the stone, what kind of workmanship, what kind of cutting, what's the inclusion, what kind of inclusion does it have? Some inclusions are crystals, then some inclusions are fractures, fractures going around the stone, oh,
Mm.
then it's a
Yeah.
different. What kind of comment you can give on this, Andrew?
This price?
Like in regards to buying stones, like because there are stones that really you can go and see like eBay, $10 only, $50,
Oh,
you know.
I cannot comment the prices online. I just do not know how it works actually. Yeah, color is one of the most important thing when it comes to the price lah. But like spinel, cobalt spinel is one of the rarest color for spinel, so it could be very expensive. Other colors, it could be like mid-range, like what you said, couple $100 per carat. It depends on quality as well, the cut eventually. So it's yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
good.
actually, a lot of people commented on spinels. Actually, it's not that very little known gemstone.
Quite interesting.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it,
but we
it,
do
it
have a lot of more topics to talk about. Mm.
yeah, Eileen said about her tricolor spinel. I guess one thing about stones, right, is also the cutting, because uh when there's a you see yeah, like this, right? So when the stone pavilion is equal, the whole color will be equal. But when the stone becomes like one side is thicker than the other side, you will start to see a differentiation of color. Because just imagine you are at a lagoon and you look at the seawater, which is very clear. The place where it's shallow, you tend to see a lighter color. When you go deeper into the ocean, you see a darker color. So that same concept of how light works is when the stone has a deeper depth at certain part, they tend to be a darker color, and a lighter part is a lighter color. So that is something that constantly changes. Yeah. Okay. Well, this L Low says, yeah, I came across really cheap spinel. Therefore, I always think spinel of lower grade. Well, there are different cut qualities of cut. You can find at the gem museum shop spinels at $35, $50, $60, and you can find stones here $1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000. Yeah, so it really depends on the quality and how it is. Yeah. Hey, let's
Mm.
any more questions? Any more last like discussions on spinel before we move on to the next topic? Oh, we spent quite a lot of time on spinels,
Yeah, almost half an hour.
Yeah. All right. So the next part, Twinkle of Star Gems, a natural phenomenon created by microscopic inclusions.
You have to show the
Ooh,
slides.
cool.
Show the slides.
Eh? Oh, show the slide. Oh yeah, yeah. In StreamYard. Okay. Yes. So Andrew, very nice. Very nice slides.
Yeah, so these star gems are gemstones that are phenomenal, and phenomenal gemstones are the ones that produces special optical effects. It could be a cat's eye, it could be a play of color, it could be other fluorescence, but star it shows an asterism, which is almost like an asterisk, right? So so we do have a phenomenal showcase at our museum. So whenever it's an interactive showcase, so I would just show visitors how the phenomena works on different gemstones. So the star is one of the most popular ones. So whenever I show them, the star, when they shine the light on them, they just show when they show this as asterism, right? People always ask, hey, how? First of all, of course, they're wow and so beautiful, and then the next question would be like, hey, how the stone create this star, you know? So uh, right, the answer is actually at the slide. So it's
I go to the next slide. Yeah.
okay. So
Wait. Oh, okay. Yes.
right, for the star, for a gemstone to show the star, it must have a set of inclusions, which is usually they are rutiles, microscopic rutile needles. Okay, like you can see on the right, those microscopic rutile needles, very very symmetrical in certain directions. Actually, three different directions, right? So
Yes.
how the microscopic needles would align would according to its crystal growth structure, like you see on the left. It's a hexagonal shape. Okay, you can imagine all the rutile needles are aligned to parallel to each side of the hexagon. Okay, so when you shine the light from above, it will show the asterism, the
Yeah, you see
lines over
the
there.
line.
So that is how the star is created.
So, is there synthetic star sapphires?
Yeah, there are actually quite plentiful in the market, which is quite easily deceive people. Like people will see, oh, a very good quality star, and it comes in very good price. People just get duped, you know. Yeah, I recently seen a post, gemologist actually, she shared a photo of a star ruby bracelet. Very good quality, extremely clean, almost pigeon's blood, and the cap and the star it was like really really straight, you know.
Wow.
So so actually that is one of the signs that, you know, synthetic stones, they tend to be quite perfect almost. So good color, good clarity, and who will actually cut a perfect ruby in a bead? That would be a completely waste of the stone. So yeah, that's the synthetic stones lah.
Wow, wow. This Eric has a question here, which Hui already answered. Are all star stones comes in cabochon? Andrew?
Yes, yes. To for them to be in a cabochon is the best way to showcase their phenomena, not just in the star, other phenomena like the cat's eye, like the adolerescence, the play of color. Cabochon would be the best shape for the stone. Yeah. So until recently, Kuming, you just showed me a faceted moonstone. Yeah. So yeah, I mean it can be faceted as well, but cabochon would showcase the best quality of the phenomena.
Yeah. I think if you cut it faceted, you will lose the whole sheen of the star, and you will see like a stone that has been toasted. You know, you see the needles. The needles. Let me show the slide. You will see the needles on the face of the stone, which will look like it's like being toasted. That's what my friend and I call it, toasted. Yeah, I heard cabochon is because due to too much inclusion, they can't use the stone. Yeah, if use the stone to be cut in a brilliant cut example. Yeah, it's true that some of the cabochons they are cut it into cabochon because it looks. Cabochons tend to showcase more of color than inside the stone, so they cut it for cabochon. But then in this case for star stones, which bring us to the next slide, it really showcased the star. So, do all star gems come with 6 rays? Andrew?
Okay, so star not necessarily comes in six, but most of the star gems they belong to the trigonal crystal system. Like just the previous picture show, it would form the hexagonal crystal the growth structure, which is a hexagon. But other stones like garnets, spinels, which form in the cubic crystal system, they will showcase a two-ray, no, a four-ray star, just like
Mm,
the stone on the left. So
yeah.
it's quite faint. It's actually a color change star garnet. It's almost like an X, you know?
Oh, this is the stone. A few months ago.
Yeah, you showed
I,
me. You showed me, and I took photo of
oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's actually quite faint. But you can see the X right beside of the light, the reflecting light on the stone.
Oh yeah, that's the X, right?
Yes.
It's
So that is
here,
the star garnet.
here.
Mm.
Ah,
So 6 ray is the most common uh numbers of I mean a star. Okay, but it also comes in four. It also comes in 12 rays, like what you see on the right,
this
which
one.
is one
Yeah.
of yeah, it's actually one of Hui Ying's collection. It's a really beautiful stone. You can see very clearly the 12 rays.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe it's not big enough, but yeah,
I,
it's very quite a small stone.
I think it's about a carat, lah, or slightly
Mm.
less than a carat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the 12 ray star is very obvious, very vivid.
Very nice. This one. And it's a golden
Mm.
star, I think. Yeah, it's a
Mm.
golden star.
Yeah,
Very
so
beautiful.
although they are beautiful, but they can be quite rare sometimes, quite hard to find.
Yeah.
So that's it. Okay, Eric
Yeah.
has a question.
Is it possible a stone to have two or three stars rather than one big star? Yeah, it's possible. When actually the two crystals grow side by side together, and you can see double stars. We
Mm.
have some of this in our collection. If you like to see, you can feel free to come down to the Gem Museum, yeah, and have a look. So, thank you very much for all your participation, and let's go on to the next stone, which is, let me put this, ornamental gems: Lapis, Malachite, and Turquoise. Minerals with unique colors for carvings and aesthetic uses. Hmm,
Yeah,
interesting.
so these are these are usually the gemstones that are opaque and not transparent, so they are used more towards carvings and aesthetic purposes rather than being a faceted gemstone meant for jewelries. So ornaments actually means by uh, gemstones that are used for carvings, for aesthetic purpose, for decorations, basically. So like some of these specimens in a museum, you can see some lapis carvings, the dolphins, which is quite delicate work actually, very
Yeah,
nicely carved dolphins. Yeah, and some actually there's more at the back, like carved owls, like uh like
is there more on the slide?
uh
Oh no.
yeah, there
Yeah,
are more after that, but these
yeah.
are some of these specimens, like a carved snowflake obsidian as a bird. So this is basically what ornamental means.
Okay. What's this? Which material is most commonly carved?
Mm. So this I guess everybody should know. Okay, some of the most commonly carved material is the jade, the jadeite, or even nephrite as well, but just generally jade, right? So they are carved as jewelries. They are carved as yeah, as a decoration mostly. Okay, but what makes a material
Carve.
suitable to be carved? Yes. So it's also one. Yeah, I just thought of this question. Why do people carve gemstones? What makes them suitable to be carved is that you know they have they have a low hardness. Okay, not maybe not that low, but they are quite tough, just like the jade itself. They have a very good toughness. so they can be carved into literally anything without breaking apart. Yeah, so you see a lot of jade carvings in the market as well. Mm. Maybe it's just a matter of the quality, the color of the jade. Yeah.
That's a good one. Uh, One of the important things is the hardness. If it's too hard, it's very difficult to carve. That's why if you see like corundum, like sapphire carvings, right? They are more in you don't see so many of them because it's very hard. You only can use sapphire to carve sapphire or even diamond, which in the olden days you don't have that kind of technology. So you see a lot of carvings in softer stones like lapis, like what do you call it, serpentine, jade. You know, these are softer materials. The hardness is about 6.5 and below, or even calcite. Yeah, marble. So yeah, these are some ornamental gemstones we have in
Mm.
the gem museum shop. We have some carved bottles from I think it's India, and they are actually smoky quartz and quartz. They are snuff bottles, and then we have a chaurite pick.
Mm.
Okay, yeah, chaurite is a purple kind of mineral from Russia, and they carve it into a pig. Then we have jade also on the right hand side. It's carved in different uh, animals of the 12 animals of the Chinese calendar. So you have
Mm.
chicken, you have rams, you have rats, and so on. So yeah, these are all at the Gem Museum shop. If you like, you can come and take a look. Oh, last question. So let's go on to the last. Anybody on any other burning questions for ornamental gemstones?
Anybody collect ornamental gemstones?
I collect. Yeah,
Mm. We have few like very nice pieces of jade carvings in the museum. The birds, the dragon.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, the day your father just commented on the piece that he bought like long time ago, right?
yeah. The one in front of the museum, the
Yeah.
jade fan. Yeah. Muhammad
That was
Shamri
that.
says no. He doesn't collect any ornamental gemstones. We, there are also a lot of boxes made out of ornamental gemstones. I have a chowrite box, very beautiful, very special.
Mm,
Yeah. So
mm.
yeah, that's about ornamental gemstones. Any last words from you, Andrew, before we go on to pearls?
No, no. Let's move on.
Okay, so pearls, natural or cultured, the oldest gem material used by human. Do you know that? Have you seen carved pearls before, Andrew?
Oh, eh, no, but mother of pearl, yes, but not pearls.
In I think in the Middle East, right? Especially from Bahrain, right? They actually do carved pearls. Very
Wow.
beautiful. Yeah, they carve it in like a Arabic style. Very beautiful. Y'all can just search just type carved pearls, and you will see a lot of different types of pearls being carved. Yeah.
Wow.
So are pearls natural? All natural, Andrew?
Okay, so this is actually it's a tricky question. Okay, if technically all pearls are natural, okay, but because they are made out of the natural substance of nacre, okay, but
Mm,
if we're talking about the entire pearls itself, some of them it can be natural. That means they are found from wild oysters in the sea or from cultured pearls in farms. So yeah, technically they are all natural, made by the nacre itself. So nacre, what nacre looks like is just the pearly look of the pearls. It could be seen in the mother of pearl, like this picture is the pearly luster, and those are nacre. Nacre is the main substance of the pearl itself.
mm.
And
Wow,
nacre
what
is
happened to the
actually
song?
yeah formed from the
Mm,
a form of aragonite, which is a calcium carbonate. Yeah.
mm. This
Oh, that.
Has a question. How do you extract mother of pearl?
Have you seen them extract them before?
It's just the pearl shell. I mean not the pearl
Yeah.
shell, the shell of the mollusk. So normally after you take out the pearl, the mollusk dies. So they take the mollusk shell and they cut it up and make it into tiles like that, as you see.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have a friend who owns a pearl farm in Myanmar, and she her byproduct of pearls is actually selling mother of pearls, to people. So they sell to watch companies, they sell to building companies. They even donated to the temples to actually build the pillars in Burma for the different
Mm,
pillars. So it looks very unique, really special. Yeah. This Eric was
mm,
saying that he bought some pearls for his wife and daughter, culture one, as big as what, 15.5 mm. Wow, that's huge. Well done, Eric. Set as
mm.
rings. And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mother of pearls, they are quite abundant because there's not many users now, in the modern day, unless it's made into like jewelry boxes and all those things. Yeah, because back in the days, they used mother of pearls to make buttons. So that is one of the uh, most of the usage for mother of pearl.
Yeah. L has a question. How do we maintain and care for natural pearls? Andrew.
Hmm. How well, if you have a natural pearl, I mean, really natural pearls is
Or just cultured pearl lah,
okay. I just say generally pearls lah.
Yeah.
How do you care for pearls? I'm actually not a big fan of pearls actually. So,
Oops. Okay. I
maybe you
like
should answer
pearls.
this for me.
Yeah, maybe I should answer this. So how do you care for them? Because pearls, they're made of nickel, they're made of calcium carbonate. So it's actually very susceptible to fluids. So when you're going to always remember, pearls should be the last thing you put on to your body. So you should spray all your perfume first, then you put on your pearls. They say the last on, first out. So when you come home, take out your pearls first, clean them with just a normal cloth lah, just clean it, and keep it in a cool and dry place. Yeah, so sometimes after a long time of wearing your pearl strands, maybe after 2 3 years, do send it for restringing, because the string might have been damaged over time, and after a while it gets frayed and it might snap. So yeah, this is one of the ways you can care for pearls. Number one, put it on the last. Number two, take it out the first. Number three, wipe it with a clean cloth, that is dry cloth. And fourth one is to restring it after a couple of years. Yes, that's what a lot of comments.
Mm,
Eric, it says real ones non-cultured harvest from sea must be very very expensive. Oh yeah, Hui
yep.
Ying will give you the will give. She went to Bahrain for a week to actually study about pearls, in Bahrain, and she actually went diving for pearls too. And yeah, diving for pearls is very difficult work, and it's I think they don't do it so much now. They still do, but because of the oil trade in the Middle East, a lot of the people go into oil rather than pearling. Yeah, and to actually recover oysters with pearls in them, the waters really need to be very pristine and very clean and non-polluted. But because of pollution also, it caused a lot of these oysters not produce pearls. Yeah, so it's very rare and expensive, valuable,
Mm,
I would say.
mm. Yeah, we actually shared a video on Hui Ying's Bahrain adventure in during our webinar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow, we should showcase that again. She's quite cool, She went around. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Eric says pearl are so soft, advisable not to set as rings. Although I saw many are set as rings. Well, it's beautiful, and just have to take care of it. That's all. Don't do strenuous sports when you or do big heavy work when you wear pearls, and yeah, wear for dinners and balls is okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to the next slide. Does culturing the pearl kill the oyster? I think we answered it just now.
Uh, I think depends on the skill of the culturer. Yeah, but I think now they are quite experienced because before they actually harvest or even implant the beads, they will actually put the oyster to a hibernation mode. So it slows down their metabolism, so they do not react to the opening of the shell. So yeah, ultimately it depends on or maybe the incision when the cultural created in the oyster's organ. So they must be really careful not to hurt its the organ. Yeah. So they actually made a very small incision, just a very small incision to insert the bead, and then
Yeah.
that's it. So usually it does not kill the oyster, that's but how do they know if they killed the oyster?
It dies.
Yeah, but they don't have any like hard sensor or something. But you know,
uh, I think at the end of the day, when you harvest it,
uh,
they have to kill the oyster lah, because they open it ma. They open it. The moment they force it open to take out the pearl, it kills the oyster. But while implanting, doing the incision, putting the beads in, putting the tissue in, they have to be
mm,
very careful, and that doesn't kill the oyster. They need the oyster to live for at least a couple of months. I think 9 months to a year to 1.5 years to
yeah,
actually grow the grow the pearl. Oh, the Gem
uh,
Museum, Hui Yi
yes,
post.
yes,
One donor, many recipients. About 10 oysters will receive the tissue from one oyster which will die. Oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This point is yeah, yeah. I forgot this point actually. So
Mm,
uh, so a donor will actually give birth to many pearls.
mm,
So like what this the Gem Museum said.
yeah. And then this Eric one pearl prices are based on luster, its roundness, round and size. Yeah. It has many factors. So the luster, how bright it is. Then also the surface. Is it very smooth? Is there a lot of pitting on the surface? And then number three is the color of the pearl. And number four is the orient of the pearl. When you look at the stone, the pearl, you see the color, and then on top of that you see a shimmering orient. This is the orient effect. So those like white with a pink orient is more valuable as compared to other colors. So and the last thing is I think the size. No, not last thing. Second last is the size and the roundness of the pearl. Yeah. So these are the shape of the pearl. So there is actually a classification done by I think many other pearl experts. So this is just a short summary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, I went for a trip before. I went to value 40 kilos of pearls at Surabaya with my father. Yeah, so that's why I had to learn about pearls, and it was really fun. We see 40 kilos of pearls for 5 days. Wow, every day I see pearls, and then at night I dream of pearls. Yeah, so let's go on to the next slide. Wow, this question.
Is
Uh,
culturing co sustainable? So,
let's discuss.
yeah, let's
Mm,
discuss. So, people do ask me about gemstone sustainability. Okay, but what about culturing pearl sustainability? Eh, I think in the end, sustainability is a very subjective manner. I mean, it can work both ways. It can, uh, it sometimes it brings profit, brings good, and it also brings bad at the same time. I mean, yeah. What's your thought? I mean, you've been to the farm before, and
well, Andrew, I think this question we debated whether or not to actually put it on the slide because we are not the, or rather, we are not the sustainable, subject people. But then,
mm,
you told me that there are actually people. You and Joanna was telling me there are people who actually ask this question. So I say, yeah, just put it in and let's discuss with our audience also and get feedback from people.
mm,
Well, I think there are two kinds of pearl farming. The first kind is the South Sea pearl, which is done in seawater. And to get this going, right, it's actually pretty it's very, how to say, they're very careful because first thing, you need a very special environment. You need to have a lagoon that is sheltered by another island so that the current is not too strong, but they need to have current so that they'll bring in the plankton, the food for the pearls. And then the water has to be clean. So current is important because it creates a constant cycle of new water and old water, a system of new water. And I think, and on top of that, uh, some of the natural disasters for, I mean, no, sorry. So pearls, they have to be very clean. If not, they'll cause infection and it'll cause the oysters to die. So they don't use like chemicals or to put with the. I mean, maybe they use some steroids or what, but I have not heard people doing that. I My father visited a pearl farm in Bali, and they were very very clean. You will see, because even yeah, the place is so clean because they cannot afford the oysters getting sick or infected, and that will cause the oyster to die, and that will cause a loss of profits lah. Yeah, that is for the South Sea pearl farms. For the freshwater pearl farms, on the other hand, they are done more inland, and therefore, Hui Ying put this up. Okay, so in the freshwater pearl farms, you have to really create the environment. You have to dig the pond, you have to put the water in, you have to make sure the water is at the right temperature, uh, the right kind of water. So there's I guess that is more invasive as compared to the South Sea pearl farming lah. Yeah,
mm,
but pearl farming do create a lot of jobs because it's very labor intensive.
mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think, yeah. So, thanks for uh, the
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 comment.
info, Hui. Yeah.
Yeah, your
So
comment.
actually, we're trying to point out the sustainability in terms of the environment, because when people first think of gemstone mining, you destroy mountains, you destroy the landscape itself. So that's why a lot of people come up with the sustainability issue. So in terms of culturing pro sustainability, like what you said, uh, they don't really harm the environment. In that case, the sea, to farm the pearls. So they actually take good care of the environment. They don't really use chemicals or other things. I'm not sure, but that's how they have to take care of the pearls in order to make pearls. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So, that's great. Gemstone mining normally is not so. They don't use poison and things lah.
Mm,
Yeah, they basically use water. That's means most of the time you need water. So in terms of sustainability, uh, in terms of affecting the environment, it's not that harmful. Yeah. Do you
mm,
know that Hui Ying said in the natural environment, oysters are pests to the seabed?
mm.
Well, I guess there is a life cycle, and there's like carnivores and omnivores and herbivores, and then those
Yeah.
people. I think oysters process the food lah. Yeah.
Mm. And we are the one who eat oysters. So we have to harvest more oysters then.
So there's always two sides to the coin, and there's no end to this discussion. But I feel that it's a good
Yeah.
discussion that we can talk about. You know, I mean, economically wise, uh, freshwater pearls tend to be cost less than South Sea pearl because of the sheer amount of production. For a freshwater pearl mollusk, you can actually put 20 to 40 beads, into you can have 40 pearls coming out from one oyster, whereas in the South Sea pearl they only normally put one. So therefore, the economy of scale, it costs the freshwater pearl to be lower in value. Yeah.
Mm,
So yeah, thanks for all the sharing. We are almost out of time, but thank you very much for all the like sharing and everything. And actually, yeah, this Eric say, haha, must eat more oysters. Okay, must be careful. Your what cholesterol, cholesterol level. Yeah. So anyway, why we created the Gem Talk is really to connect with all of you, because we have also visitors who come here and actually tell us that they feel a bit strange, like all their friends don't collect gemstones, but they collect gemstones. So I just want you all to know that you are not strange. It's just that humans, we have different kind of human in this world, and some of us have different likings. And gemstones do draw people through their beauty, their culture, and a lot of times people don't understand it, and but somehow or other you understand it. So one of the things that we create the Gem Museum is really for people like you who like gemstones, who collect them, who spend a lot of money on gemstones to actually build a community and talk about gemstones, talk about your likes, your dislikes, talk about the stones that you're collecting, and even share your collection with people. Like just now, Eileen was saying that she has like a tricolor spinel. So yeah, so I think thank you very much for all of your very comments, and we really hope that we can continue to do this. If you really enjoyed this series, please send us a message or comment on the comment. And yeah, and I have one customer of mine. She actually collects a lot of stones. She spends few 100,000 on just collecting stones. And one day she came to me and she said, Kuming, am I crazy? Yeah, so I told her, you're not crazy. It's just that every one of us has a hobby, and I think collecting gemstones is a great hobby. You don't have to spend so much money, although some people do when you have that kind of cash lah. But it really cause you to be more contemplative. It cause you to actually, like just now, Andrew, you were saying that you will think of the 5W and 2H when you look at a gemstone.
Mm.
This is
Yeah, that's how I look at gemstones. Yeah,
yeah.
initially when I look at gemstone, it just created so many curiosities in me. So that's why I like went into this interest, this hobby. So that's me.
That's good. So I guess a lot of people is talking about mental health now. And I think collecting something interest, doing something you like is very important. And therefore, as part of the museum roundtable, there are many museums here in Singapore that you can explore your interests. If you have an interest in collecting stamps, you have interest in collecting toys, there's a main museum of toys. There's also the National Museum. So many kind of museums that you can go and really explore your hobbies. And it's really great to go to a museum, because when you are at a museum, you're in an environment of very interesting things and something that touches your heart and your soul. So we want to encourage all of you to really connect with us, and connect with us and connect with one another. And I really hope that you all enjoyed this. If you really enjoyed, just comment on the live video or send us a message, and we hope to bring you more of this lunchtime Gem Talk. This will be the last lunchtime Gem Talk for this season. Do stay tuned on our Facebook for more. And also, yeah, Eric, you should bring your wife and daughter to the Gem Museum one day. Yeah, we invite you. Please let us know you're Eric so we can connect with you and show you the double star. You ask about double star. Yeah. And so thank you very much. The next event will be in September. We will have a zooming in with gems on sapphires. So do connect with us on that. And any more last things you want to say, Andrew?
Yeah, I think we're also gonna do the lunch gem talk once every month, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, once
at
every
least
month.
I think it's
At
quite
least,
fun.
yeah. I mean, just to stay connected with the audience. So on top of the webinar, and then yeah, that's sapphires will be an interesting topic. Yeah, because previously we covered Paparasha before. It's not the whole general sapphire itself. So now we're just gonna cover the sapphires in general.
Yeah, yellow sapphires, blue sapphires. Wow, so many colors. Green sapphire, color change sapphire.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So stay tuned, stay safe, and welcome to the Gem Museum. My name is Kunming, and this is Andrew saying see you soon.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.